So exterior being done by association is good, and the reason is because there's a lot of like exterior things that I noted, like rotting wood, particularly pertaining to your unit. The part that I'm worried about, and this needs repair, is the master bedroom balcony.
Oh, okay.
A lot of wood rot there, and it's to the point where it's enough that you worry about the stability of that deck. So I would report that to the management company to have them get on that. And the same thing with this one above the front entry. This one's not as unsafe as far as stable, but there's a huge gap on the left side. Like if you have a pet, a child, or what have you, they could walk right off the edge. I mean, it's about this wide. I can actually show you because it's right out front. And these are the things that you would want to probably prioritize coming in if you have your little guy and your dog. What kind of dog you have?
He's a mutt.
Okay. Well, we love
He's
mutts.
about 55 pounds.
You see that space right here?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would be very easy for anybody, your child or pet, to just
Oh yeah, it's a good
accidentally
gap.
come off of that. Okay, now typically balconies like this are notorious for leaking occasionally. That's why you have evidence of water here. See the bubbling paint? Okay. And that's part of the problem with this type of stuff, is that sometimes you can control it, sometimes you can't, but since they manage it, I would ask them to do the balconies. The one on the master because we want that more secure. This one for security here, but both of them for the wood rot. Okay?
Yeah. And what is this? Is that the same? Yeah.
That's flashing. Yeah, that's like aluminum flashing that they have all across the bottom here.
I think she's talking about the gook. You know, that's that stuff that
that's
they
foam.
put there to sort of seal it.
It's foam that they painted over, like the expandable foam. And guys buy that stuff and they never know how much all it takes is a little. And I mean, this stuff expands.
I know,
quickly.
I've seen it. It's that yellow stuff. Right?
Yeah, I mean, if you put it in there and you put it in a hole, and you think you're okay, I'm gonna fill it up. 2 minutes later, it's all coming out.
Yeah, I
So
know.
it's very expandable, like they say. But this is just stuff I think that for your knowledge, particularly for children or pets, that these two balconies. I mean, we don't expect you to have any problems, but stuff like this, you would want to have them take care of too. You see the opening there? Right over here. The reason you mention it is that with openings like that, you're vulnerable to a little bit of water, and even like if you get a little squirrel or something like that, they can squeeze in.
No squirrels, please.
Which would be,
Yeah, we noticed it over there.
absolutely. Yeah, you got a good eye. It would be over here, over there, anywhere where you have the siding exposed to some kind of water, and that's par for the course with this because this just kind of lets things drip. Okay, so I'm going to list as much as I was able to capture, so you can present it to your association and show them. Okay. Now inside, I want to show you a couple things. First thing is your air conditioning units on the roof.
Yeah, that's what we thought. Renee and I were looking for it the other day and couldn't find it, and we figured it must be on the roof.
And you figured right, and with Renee's help, I was able to actually go up there and safely come down.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
She always gives me a heart attack.
It's a sharp pitch, and we couldn't get to the height of the roof with a ladder, so I had to pitch it on your outside balcony, and it's only a small angle you have. So, but I got it there and I took a look at it. I have to look up the date. It's a Coleman. It's a package system, meaning it's what you see in manufactured homes. Normally, or homes where they don't have the space to house an air handler, so they put the whole thing in a package, and this is on the roof. The unit is cooling fine. I'll have to look up the age of it because it's a unique serial number, so I want to go look at it before I comment on it. I'm not really sure, but I do know it's using R22, that refrigerant that they're phasing out, which is expensive, so just keep that in mind. When you have an air conditioning guy come, if it's not cooling right, you may have to recharge it, and that recharge costs a little more than we're used to nowadays. The unit's not heating. I have it now in heat mode for the 3rd time, and I've had it set that way since I came downstairs, and I'm not getting it to come on and heat.
It felt warm when I was upstairs.
It feels warm, and it did feel warm, but I'm not getting any airflow. When you turn that air conditioner on, you get good airflow. I mean, you can feel it. You stand up here, you feel it. Right now, it's on heat, and it's set that way, and we have it set to 78, but nothing's on. I have a feeling it might be the way they wired the thermostat. I'm not sure, but you'll have to have them check it out. because it's, when you shut it and you switch over to cool, you hear the click of the thermostat, so you expectation it works, but you click over to cool, and you drop that down, and it comes on. There's a short delay, because, let's go upstairs while we wait for that. I want you to see a couple of places that we should pay attention to. Yeah, that's on there. This one, shower head, it's very loose.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this thing is just kind of,
Mm-hmm.
so you just got to be careful with that. And a couple of tips in the tub you should repair, just so they don't rust.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I had a little bit of what felt like moisture, but you know, sometimes when you quantify these things and you take samples, you don't know what you're looking at until you take the reading here. So like you go over here and you take a sample, I'm at 167. But after flushing the toilet a number of times, it's very common. I've been running into wax ring things lately a lot. When you come here on this side, okay, it's slightly higher. You get a little closer, and it makes me wonder if you're starting to leak here. Okay, so I would just use this. Maybe have a plumber look at this and look at that at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And move the toilet.
You're gonna move it?
Just turn it. Jeez.
You're gonna,
Don't you think?
oh, I don't think, yeah, I didn't know. First time I've heard someone say it, so it was a surprise to me. This here, we get readings on the wall as a sample at about 150.
Mm-hmm.
And we come down here about 136, so we know we're relative in the 130 to 150 range. But if you get down and you look straight that way, where this water supply is, you come down here, and I'm getting a much higher reading here, right along the bottom. And you'll see as I go away from there, it'll start to dissipate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so something here is getting over there. I'm not sure what it is. Possibilities are, it could be from the outside. It could be plumbing right here at the supply. The toilet's not leaking here. It could also be a wax ring, but the toilet, the moisture levels are not the same on the floor. And it could be from the shower. So those are the air venues. So when you have someone looking at that bathroom, just have them look over here and see what they think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that as long as you pay attention, you see where the stain was in the ceiling downstairs, and it makes you wonder, it's been vacant for a while. I can't possibly duplicate the amount of water someone might use in a week.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I would watch that area down there and pay attention to that and see if, you know, get another opinion, see what they think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
But that's all I got up here. As far as looking around at the whole place and as a whole, the remodel of the kitchen and the bathrooms, very well done. They're really nice. And I think that is probably the vast majority of whatever you would spend on a place like this to improve it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the plumbing stuff checked out and you got clearance there, and the air conditioning, just find out why it's not heating. I'll have the date and information in the report so you know what it is.
Yeah.
I think you're looking good. And then I have always a punch list, so when you see the punch list, don't get intimidated by it. It's just a list. It includes the outside, it includes what I just showed you, shots of the roof, because up there we wanted to take a look at everything. We saw the top of the chimney.
Yeah.
We checked out the fireplace. So I think that as far as 1982 condos go, I mean, the things that I would look for as an inspector are usually the electric, the air conditioner, what have you. Electric seems pretty good. I took the panel apart, they painted over it.
Mm-hmm.
It took me like a half hour to take it apart, but I finally got it. I didn't want to destroy the wall with the paint,
Right.
but I finally opened it and it's like pristine inside. It's very nice. I mean, it's like the copper's nice and shiny. The copper coming in is nice and clean. There's no signs of overheating. I even infrared scanned it to check the temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
Now your outside panel, which is more the association, I would think, than you, that panel needs a little bit of help. And I'll have that stuff listed and you can probably present it to them. I'm not sure who does what with that part.
Okay.
What about the water heater? It looked like it was gonna go.
Yeah, that was the grand finale. it is about to go. It's got a damaged pan, it's got rust. It is working, but if that thing starts to leak on you, given what we see now, you could be looking at damage because there's nowhere for the water. I mean, the water's gonna come out of that pan.
Right.
So I think you ought to replace that proactively, just a suggestion.
Like before you move in almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because. I mean,
Yeah.
we just had one, another condo that was actually leaking. Same type of staining, same type of evidence of the discoloration from what looks like it could have leaked before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It makes me wonder if that toilet being like that there was something that they were trying to remedy over there. You know, if the toilet shifted like that, makes me wonder if, I can't imagine it was always like that.
there's the 80s, I don't know. You know, I have to tell you, I mean, I'm not sure myself, but there are 80s houses that we do that blow my mind sometimes. I go into a master bathroom.
Some of the
80s
weird
house.
looking. There was a sliding glass door on the back side of a shower, so you go
That's
into
what I
the
was gonna
shower.
say.
Okay, so just in case you want to invite the neighbors while you're taking a shower. I mean,
It's the strangest thing, and they have a petition wood wall, little enclosure outside of that shower with sliding glass doors, and it's just the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life, but they did it. So this wouldn't surprise me if it was something that was here, but then, you know, it has to have been a toilet here the way they have it situated.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my best guess is that, given where the toilet holder is, it had to be sitting over there.
Right.
It may not have been sitting that way, like you say, but it had to be over there.
Right. It was just pushed back, I think, but
It might have been.
it makes me think that, you know, and the seal around it looks kind of nice and clean, so it's like maybe something that was addressed because of maybe something that you had mentioned when you were talking about something going on in there.
Maybe, it's possible. Your biggest concern would be a shower pan. That would be obviously the biggest concern. And hopefully that's nothing to do with that. And then the smallest thing would be a wax ring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a leak in the wall. I mean, if you had a leak in the supply in the wall, you would have to see something downstairs. It's under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have much else. I mean, like I said, I'll have a list for you, but
Okay. The things that you check, do you happen to cover like mold or anything like that?
if I suspect it, I tell you about it. The only places where I would be concerned, because there's no humid odor in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no obvious visual evidence of leaking where you would say a long-term leak that would cause mold to develop.
Right.
The concern I would have would be probably any place where there's active leaking now that are conducive to mold, like this area here.
Okay.
Stuff they could have painted over, I mean, that's always a possibility, but typically in houses like what you're describing, as soon as you walk in, you get hit with a wall of that
Stink.
humidity odor.
Yeah.
And I don't have that here,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
I've been chewing gum the whole time. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I've been doing this job since 2004. And normally in homes like that, you can taste it
Oh.
because it goes through your nose and you can actually taste it.
Hmm.
So I haven't tasted anything either, so to speak.
I'm chewing gum, I don't taste it either. That's good.
all right.
That's
Any
all
other
we have.
questions you can think of right now?
No, I don't think for Paul. I am questioning what happened to the closet doors.
Yeah, they gave you one in each room.
Yeah, we got one. That's all the feel you need. Thanks, Paul.
Oh, you're welcome.